Hello, I'm Simon Cole, I'm Chief Constable of Leicestershire Police. I'm here in the foyer of Police Headquarters with a display that we've put up to commemorate Stephen Lawrence Day, an important inaugural event, important that we all remember Stephen and the opportunities that his life could have presented, but also the challenge that the investigation into his murder has brought to policing ever since it happened over a quarter of a century ago. I'm actually long enough in the tooth that I went to the Macpherson inquiry session in Birmingham. At that point I was a young inspector working in the city of Birmingham. What did policing take from the Macpherson inquiry? It took a lot of work around hate crime, around family liaison, and it's stuff that still plays every day. And I'm here with representatives of our different support networks within the force just to remember Stephen and think about some of the implications for policing.
Hello, I'm Superintendent Natalie Wignall. I'm the Superintendent of Neighbourhood Policing for Leicestershire Police, and I'm also the Chair of our Women's Inclusive Network.
Hi, I'm Magda Allen. I'm a Project Officer with the Change Team. I'm a Co-Chair of the Disability Support Network.
We're here today to talk about Stephen Lawrence. I was very privileged to have a preview to the Stephen Lawrence Research Centre that is at De Montfort University. The Research Centre celebrates the life of Stephen right from him being a young boy and his aspirations to become an architect. The Research Centre also tells about the terrible incident itself and really informs our way and how we look at things in the future and how it has affected our communities as a whole and his family.
As part of, we also have a Black Support Network, and we've had this. We've celebrated and recognised Stephen Lawrence as part of Black History Month. We've done this for about 3 years running, and last year we actually we had a remembrance service and we planted a tree, all in remembrance of Stephen Lawrence and the effect that it's had on the community and the police.
Hello, I'm Inspector Manjit Atwal. I'm the local MPA Commander for the City Centre. I'm also the Chair of the Leicestershire Sikh Police Association. Last week I had the privilege of attending a preview of the Stephen Lawrence research at the DMU, and what a touching experience that was. And for me, the thing that stood out more than anything else was that night and his parents' story throughout, and that research really details that. To the point we had the first Stephen Lawrence Day, which is a real tribute.
Hi, my name's Tina Paul. I'm a police officer here for Leicestershire Police. I'm also the chair of the Black Police Association, which is one of the networks that we hold here within the organisation. First of all, I think it's commendable that we have a Stephen Lawrence Day. Last year we did do a memorial for Stephen in our gardens, which we planted a tree and plaque in memory of Stephen. I also had the privilege to go to a pre-launch of the Stephen Lawrence Centre last week, and the official launch will be next month, and I can truly say that was overwhelming. Just looking at the things that Stephen did as a child, his aspirations for where he wanted to be as an adult. And I can honestly say that it has changed policing for the better. There's still room for change, but it has changed policing, not just on a national level, but on a local level. And that's why it's important here for Leicestershire to recognise Stephen.
I'm Jerone Taylor. I'm also a Leicestershire police officer. A few years ago, back in 2013, I and a few other officers from Leicestershire Police attended the National Black Police Association in the Met, and as part of that 2-day course I had the opportunity to actually go on a march to where Stephen Lawrence was actually murdered, which was a privilege to be able to actually see the plaque at the location, and it was quite moving to see obviously all the officers which turned out on that day. This year marks 26 years that Stephen was murdered. And I know some people might be asking the question of why here in Leicestershire, what's that got to do with us? Well, as we've seen nationally, there's been a huge increase in knife crime. That's affected us here in Leicestershire. And it's just a reminder to all operational cops out there, as well as myself, that we can't make any preconceived ideas or judgments when we turn up to victims of knife crime based on their area, their ethnicity, or indeed their previous convictions. So it's really important that when we go to a victim of a stabbing, that we go there with an open mind and an open investigation, and first aid is also obviously at pinnacle, because like in Stephen's case, it potentially could have saved his life, and we wouldn't want anything like that happening here or nationally again in relation to what happened with Stephen back on that day 26 years ago.
Could I just also say on that note that Stephen's untimely death has changed lives and is saving lives. Thank you.